the reality of it is, if every minute of your day is consumed, then you don't have time to innovate.
Right. When you have that type of content, you can program it into AI to personalize your business for you so that your clients now get a sense of you in the AI. Same thing with your business. There are things in your business that no longer serve you that you've got to get rid of so that your business can bloom like the rose.
Work with me, brother. Work
with
me.
Thank you.
And here's one for you. At the end of the day gonna end.
Yay. Let's get it. That's code for allowing keep your answers short. Do not elaborate.
This is the Grow Business Podcast with Cory Mosley.
It is. That music can only mean one thing.
One thing. That's right.
Same bat channel, same bat time.
That's right.
Is that what that's how it used to go, right?
Yeah, same. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
We are back again.
That's right. Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Indeed.
Bring a friend. Hopefully you brought some friends.
Yes.
Do you think they brought some friends?
I do. Actually, I do.
Yes.
I mean, that's the only way we keep growing.
That's right.
That's the only way our audience...
Share and share alike.
Correct.
Sharing is caring.
And thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. We're thanking you in advance.
Correct.
Welcome, folks. You have come to the right place. If you're streaming us on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. We're super excited to have you here.
Yeah,
if you were looking to grow your business, you have come to the right place.
Yes.
Welcome to the Grow Business Podcast. I'm Cory Mosley. He's LG007. Lon Graham is in the building.
Voice of reason.
It's good to be here.
And we've got Willie H.
Yep.
On the buttons.
Hit the buttons, William.
I think he's been doing pretty good lately, you think?
Yeah.
I haven't had to,
I think he's coming strong last couple episodes.
Yeah, right.
Done a good job.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. He's got some new ones, some new zingers he's dropping here. Okay.
Yeah.
I like progress, Well, what does it say? You're either moving forward or backwards. Nobody stands still.
Correct.
So we want to keep leaning into the forward.
Correct.
Folks, well, we're super excited. We're super excited. Super excited. There's a blooper reel. We're super excited. We're super excited to have you here. Every week we come to you to do one thing, help you grow your business. We do that based on our 5 pillars of business growth: mindset, sales, marketing, operations, and people. I go deeper into these pillars and concepts in my latest book, Position for Growth, now available on Amazon for you here. But today, we're on the express train today.
Okay.
And today's episode is going to be about the fact that busy isn't the same as growing.
Yes.
Okay? Because there is some confusion around that.
Right.
I know a lot of people who are busy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how are they making any money? They're busy, but how are they doing that? Right. So we want to look at that, because that is also a trap, LG, that a lot of business owners do fall into. Mm-hmm. This I'm busy.
Right.
And there are just entrepreneurs, business owners waking up every day exhausted.
Right.
Answering emails, taking calls, solving problems, putting out fires.
Right.
But now, if they're being honest about it, though, are they in the same place that they were 12 months ago?
Well, it's the concept, and that's a great question to ask yourself. It's a concept of, are you busy being busy, or are you busy being productive?
Right. It's a packed schedule doesn't automatically equal progress.
Correct.
Right? Because where's the business?
Right.
Are packed schedule, packed cranking out contracts?
Right.
And collecting?
Right.
Or is that, servicing, or is that pitching?
Right.
For deals that aren't going anywhere? So I think that's part of the piece. And what I believe some won't admit, LG, is that there's an addiction to being busy.
Let the church.
Yeah, let's get that right out of the way.
So there is an addiction to it. Mm-hmm. There's a dopamine producing component to it. And there's also an ego component to it. If I'm busy, I'm important. And sometimes we get lost in this quicksand of, well, I'm busy, so I'm important. I'm busy, so I'm important. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
But I'm busy.
Right. Confusing motion with momentum.
Right. 100%.
Right. It
well
becomes
said.
one. Being reactive feels productive.
Right.
Now let's think about the mindset and the emotional side of that. Also, and it's just idea of constant like notifications, that can create also false accomplishment.
Right.
So, and not for nothing, I mean, chaos can become emotionally addictive.
Oh yeah.
And again, I think a lot of people miss that. And some owners stay operational because, strategy itself feels uncomfortable.
Right.
So,
and feeling
they're busy every day, but haven't made a strategic move in years.
Well, and being reactive is validating, right? Because that means you're the person solving the problems. That means people are coming to you, so you're important. So it validates, like, whoa, if I'm always solving somebody else's problem, I'm important.
That's right.
Which is validating. And it doesn't necessarily contribute to growing your business, which is the whole foundation of what we talk about each and every week.
So, when we think about that in practical application, like, what are some of the signs? So, and I want you guys thinking about this, as a listener and a viewer, do you fall into any of these categories?
Right.
Let's think about this, like number one, I mean, has revenue, I'm having a day. Has revenue plateaued? Right. So, you have the same sales year after year. Is inflation masking stagnation? Just everything's up. Well, okay. Well, what about? Well, let's get those sales up. So, because if your revenue only rises, because that creates a false sense, right? You raise prices to raise with inflation.
Right.
So if revenue only rises because prices went up, then of course that's not real growth.
Correct. And I encourage you, if your revenue is growing because inflation and pricing have gone up, encourage you to go back, if you haven't already, go back and listen to that episode where we talked about profitability and price compression. And, and that's a great episode to specifically address that, if that's you.
Bingo! There you go. That was good. I see. Really ate some.
He's locked and loaded, yeah.
Get that man some granola. Okay, number two.
Okay.
The owner is the entire system.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Everything depends on them. There's no scalability.
Right.
It's creating an operational bottleneck.
Correct.
Oh, Cory, if I could just duplicate 5 of me.
That bad.
Yeah, you probably have a disaster on your hands, right? Because there's where's the yin and yang?
Correct.
It's so interesting when I see business owners, and I know I get deja vu, certain things we talk about with redundancy, but they hire people just like them.
Right.
Their number 2 is just like them. Well, where's the strength and weaknesses? Where's how do you fill the gaps?
Right.
If you all have similar personalities, because you hired for likability, not the aspects of being effective at doing the job, which is a different scenario.
Right. We're in baseball season, so I'll use a baseball analogy. You can't have 25 pitchers on your team.
Right.
You can have a couple of pitchers.
Right.
You need a catcher. You need a first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third base, and outfielders. You got to have complementary people that can do things that you can't do.
Right.
So, yes.
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy there.
Thank you.
There you go. How many quarterbacks can you have?
Well, it's baseball season, so we use quarterbacks when it comes time to talk about the colonialized Chiefs.
Okay. Hey, I don't know if you're trying to take a shot over there.
No,
take a shot. All hail the Chiefs.
I'm reminding people of how strong that team was.
Yeah, strong.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. It's oak. All right, number three, smarty arty. No innovation. Right, you're in the sea of sameness.
Right,
same marketing, same offers, same customer acquisition method. same thinking, same. So, you've stopped innovating. This is the equivalent of what we call phoning it in. Ask yourself right now, have you been phoning it in? Particularly if you are somebody that's been in business for a number of years, right? You're coming up on year 10. You've beat the odds. You're 15. You're 20 years in business.
Right.
How's your thought process about that? I see so many people going backwards just because they, now get out.
Right.
Like, don't let the thing go under. Get out.
Right.
If you don't want, I understand it's a lot. Let me tell you, it's a lot.
It is indeed.
Being omnipresent in your business is a lot. Where the market, all the stuff coming up, it's moving so fast. All the gurus are guruing on what you need to do. It's a lot.
It is.
So you got to be honest with yourself. A lot of businesses aren't growing because they've stopped evolving.
Right.
Get us Cory Mosley. That's right.
That's a great solution, CoryMosley.com.
Yes.
So your business is evolving. The question is are you evolving and are you growing with it? And because here's what happens. Everything has a life expectancy, and your customers have a life expectancy with your business. So at some point they start dropping off. So if you don't have pipelines, if you don't have new systems to acquire new customers, and in order to acquire new customers, you need to create new offers, you need to create new approaches, you need to do things to attract those new customers. If you're not doing that, then you are definitely stagnant or
Maybe
losing.
This guy can help me. Maybe he can help you, longrand.com.
Thank you. That's right.
All right. Number 4.
Okay.
Constant firefighting. Always reacting. Right?
Right.
Employee drama. Customer issues.
Right.
Operational chaos.
Right.
Always something going on. Always a fire to put out.
Well, my saying about that, Cory, and I wrote it on one of my recent LinkedIn newsletters. If you are constantly putting out fires, then you are the fuel.
That's right. Oh, it's a mic drop.
Nothing. That's it. I mean, that's it though. I mean, if you're like, I'm always putting out fires, well, then you're the fuel. And then stop and take
Give him something, Willie H.
Woo! Let the church say amen.
I thought you were, that's right there with the pool and the water. So if you're in the water, the pool is the same. All right, number 5, that water in the pool. We gotta Willie H. You gotta capture that as a soundbite that we use later. Because you're in the same pool and the water's the same. It's same. The water's gonna be the same. The pool's the same.
Throw water on that thing.
Yeah. You got to find that one for next time. I want to cap that one out there. So, all right, number 5. Exhaustion without results. You're tired, but what are you actually building? Because certainly, I know a few things. And one of those things is being overwhelmed, folks, is not a growth strategy. Yeah, I like that.
Great. I mean, it's, the reality of it is that whatever you're doing, you're going to be tired because you're the business owner. You're the one leading the charge. You're the one with the heaviest load, like we've talked about in previous episodes. So you're going to be tired. Question is, are you tired and busy? Are you busy being busy, or are you busy being productive? Is that tired because you're making things happen?
That's right. And listen, that's worth consideration.
Yeah.
One of the things out there in the marketplace is this idea that people can decide about you based on the information that's in the market about you.
Yeah.
And how you're taking an approach to controlling that, how you're showing your credibility, how you're showing your authority in the marketplace, and ultimately how you can work to become the obvious choice. Lon, why don't you share a little more about that?
Yeah, Cory, thank you. And you're right. People are deciding about whether or not they can trust you, whether or not they can believe in you, whether or not they want to do business with you before they reach out. And if you don't look like the authority, you won't even get the opportunity. That's why we created the Obvious Choice interview. It's a professionally produced TV-style interview that showcases your expertise, gives you an opportunity to tell your story and how you help your clients. So when prospects find you, you're not just another option, you're the obvious choice. You can use it on your website, social media, in your sales process, anywhere trust matters. If you want to see what it looks like and how it works, head over to theobviouschoiceinterview.com.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So what does real growth look like? Let's pivot for a second here. And I should say, not what does it look like, what does it require? Right?
Okay.
So it's like, okay, great. This is one that resonates with you, I know, is and me as well, but you've talked about it, is this idea of strategic thinking time.
Yes.
Right? It's complete opposite of fire mode.
That's
complete
right.
opposite of people coming at you with gotta minutes and all these different things.
Right.
So and that's calendar space to do that too, right? That's deep thinking. That's planning.
Right.
It is the classic in the business, on the business conversation.
Right.
Because the reality of it is, if every minute of your day is consumed, then you don't have time to innovate.
Right. Yeah.
Bingo!
If your calendar is bulging because it's got every second accounted for,
right,
you don't have time to come up with new ideas. You don't have time to solve you really don't have time to solve problems. You don't have time to get ahead of opportunities. You don't have time for outreach to generate new business. So if you use your calendar as your guide, then block deep thinking time in your calendar.
Right.
Shut your phone off, shut the door, close your laptop or close your computer.
Yep.
Get out of your office, get some fresh air. Go sit down by the river. We live in Richmond, Virginia, and there's this James River. There's all kinds of places you can go. Just listen to the water run over the rocks and open up your mind.
Might see LG down there. Might see him down there.
Might.
Skipping rocks.
That's right.
Talking to himself.
I've been known to do that. There are times where I'll go down by the river and go for my walks. But create opportunity for you to only think and not to have things coming at you like your phone, like your schedule, like a client that's got a problem. Unless you're in a business where people are living and dying, you can create time for yourself. And if you are in a business where people are living and dying, make sure you got people on your team that can deal with that.
Voice of reason.
Here it is.
Thank you.
That's his one.
That's it. That's
all he's getting for this episode. All right. Next up, delegation. Empowering leaders, right? Reducing dependence on an owner. Because if the business can't function without you, that's not freedom. It's a trap.
Yeah.
And you better believe it.
Yep.
So Willie H. knows how they go. You present something to me. Don't wait for me to tell. I'm not.
Right.
I don't have time for that. You go present it to me, and then I'll be happy to weigh in on anything that I think is wrong. Right? So you take a first pass at it. Don't wait for me. I tell this to my web developer. Don't wait for me. Go take a pass at it, and then we'll work from there.
Well, and that's Cory, that's such a great approach. And when I talk to sales leaders, I talk about defining success. Don't define the process, define the outcome. What do we want this to look like?
Right.
And you have the freedom to come up with ideas on how to make it look like that.
That's right.
And wow, how liberating and how reinforcing to your belief in them to be able to do that. You're going to be surprised that they'll come up with some really good ideas if you get out of the way.
This might be a guy I want to work with.
That's true. All right, number 3.
Okay.
Modernization. Bingo. Yes, AI. Yes, systems. Yes, marketing updates. Yes to customer experience upgrades.
Right.
It is fast. I mean, it is fascinating now, particularly being an advisor to this AI company, and now I just have access to all this data,
right?
All these customer interactions and sentiment and the scale of the ability, particularly on the voice side, is so impactful with the voice agents.
Sure,
like the ability to have an entity that can have a full blown conversation, be integrated, but to do it 10,000 times,
right?
At a time, like have phones ringing all over the country or all over to client customers and having these conversations happen. It is amazing. And, someone asked me this, well, are people even comfortable talking to, and it's an adoption like anything,
right?
You have your early adopters, you have people who, say human,
right?
right? Like human and then, the system connects. But what I said to the person was, and really it just came to me as we were talking, people want efficiency.
Right.
So if I can get my oil change through Alexa,
right, and
she can accomplish my goal, which is versus having to leave a voicemail at a car dealership or send an email in or try to make sure I clicked all the right places on the website to get it right. If you can solve my issue, if it was AI, if it was this, the problem comes when you can't. That's when the frustration. But that is the same frustration with a human.
Correct.
They can't give me answers or can't give me this or their system's down or whatever.
Right.
So that modernization piece is being where your customers are, engaging with them in a way that can create efficiency. We've talked about this, right? The benefits of speed in today's marketplace, right? Not speed when I don't want my chicken wings in 30 seconds because that's not possible to cook them that fast, right? So, get me the drinks and chips. That can come out fast, but, make sure your boy's chicken's at 160 or 180 or whatever that thermometer is supposed to say, right? So, but yeah, I mean, modernization is huge and really taking a proactive and hard look at that.
Well, I'm going to go back. A lot of things you said, AI becomes a leveler, meaning that people use AI and they end up using it and they sound the same and look the same and all of that. I'm going to go back to the obvious choice interview for a minute in this piece.
Yeah.
When you have that type of content, you can program it into AI to personalize your business for you so that your clients now get a sense of you in the AI. Because when you do this obvious choice interview, you get social media clips, you get components, you get things that you can use that are programmable that will distinguish you from your competition. So you can use AI to make you more personal by doing something with an obvious choice interview.
That's right. And again, that just goes into the modernization stack. What are people doing? Because it's so competitive, right? I mean, pick anything.
Right.
There's just a million options. So having that advantage there. Okay, number 4.
Okay.
All right. Making uncomfortable decisions. Firing the wrong employees. Changing directions. If you have to. People talk about, we glamorize things like burn the ship. But sometimes you have to change direction. You have to adjust. What something started out to be is not, you find other use cases. Right. I think, did I read that, Willie H., you've got the pharmaceutical background, not as a dealer or anything, but, from being in the pharmacy world. Right. I think they're using like Viagra for hearts, like blood pressure or something. There's something. There's some because obviously the story was Viagra was originally for that, and then they realized they could do some other things. Right. But they're finding these cross uses, for things. And that was a direction change, right? That was, we thought we were going to be this kind of company, right? Right. And now we found a need over here that we didn't even know existed.
Correct. And it's based
raising
around
prices, saying no.
Yeah, well,
know your vitamin.
Right. And it's built around, so we'll use Viagra, right? I think Viagra started out as they were studying hair growth. And
was it hair growth?
I think
or something?
so, yeah.
Okay.
And then they ended up finding out that it stimulated other growth, and so, which is great. But that's the product, right? So that's what they're building around. They're not building around a whole new business. They're building around the same product. Gotcha. What they're doing is they're introducing that same product in different markets because it offers value in different areas. How can you in your business use your core business offering and offer value in other areas?
I looked up Cialis. They're now saying Cialis is treating cognitive function.
Okay.
They have preliminary studies that show that it could help with dementia.
Okay.
Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
Fitness people are using it to get a better pump during workouts. They're saying that it can improve testosterone levels, insulin sensitivities.
Right.
It can reduce symptoms like poor circulation. Opens blood. Yeah, I guess so.
I guess it does.
Yeah. So, but again, just the whole. Right. Obviously, they made $1 gajillion for the thing it was known for. But, but again, there are other opportunities to pivot. So you might be doing something right now, and there might be a niche that maybe is an accelerator for you. Right. Maybe you need. I've talked about simplifying the multiply. Right. Maybe you've got 7 or 8 products or services that really need to be 3.
Right.
And in that, you're not losing, you're actually going to gain. Right. Because your focus, your dollars, your marketing, your approach, maybe your staffing, your logistics, all those things can be drilled into that process. Because from a clarity standpoint, LG, I think a lot of businesses, are distracted, not defeated.
Right. Yeah. That's
when the church say amen.
That's well said.
Yeah.
And distracted because you have so many offers.
Yeah.
And so many offers creates confusion, not only for your clients, it creates confusion for your team. So can you bring those together? Like you said, no, that's not something that we do is really a powerful statement.
Right.
Like if you want me to recommend somebody that I know does it, I'm happy to do that. But sometimes in business, and we keep this startup mentality in business owners who have now established themselves, have some recurring revenue, have really identified a strength or a lane for them, but they'll take on other opportunities because they've got that startup mentality. Well, I got to get money wherever I can. Right. Well, once you've started to really demonstrate your expertise and define your lane, and
that's why we're not a startup show.
Correct.
I don't want to refute doing what you got to do, saying yes, get the business, figure it out. All done that. That's its own thing.
Like we want you to be here now.
Correct.
And so now that you're here, in order to grow your business, you've got to let go of some of that baggage. And sometimes saying yes is baggage.
I mean, here's the funny thing. No, and you were just leading this. Here's the funny thing.
Right.
See if you agree with this. I think you were exactly headed in this direction. Growth usually requires subtraction. Before addition.
Yeah.
And I think people lose sight. They're adding, but they're not like what has to go. Right. And we're even here. We've cleared the slate of certain things. We're like, we're clearing the slate and we're closing the book on that piece. That was what it was. The business what it was. But now let's meet our obligations and get that stuff off our books, so to speak. So,
yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly and 100% because it's like it's not like being in the same water, but it's but like every
he was headed stronger than oak. See, Willie hates you. You had to have that ready. That's how you got to have that ready when he wants to talk about the water.
Every spring, people in the rose business prune all the dead branches and dead leaves so that the roses that are alive and the bushes can grow more. But they cut off the waste. They cut off the things that are dead. They cut off the things that are no longer serving the bush, so the bushes can grow bigger and be more beautiful and more and bloom. Right. Same thing with your business. There are things in your business that no longer serve you that you've got to get rid of so that your business can bloom like the rose.
Work with me, brother. Work with me.
Thank you.
And here's one for you. At the end of the day, The day gonna end.
Yay. Thank you.
I love it. So, folks, it's a great opportunity to have that reassessment. Think about that piece. You know, what's a big distraction that might be hurting your business today? Are you experiencing some of these signs of being stuck or the illusion of being busy as a tool of growth? We just want to challenge you. You know, what's one thing that you can stop doing immediately that can help the perspective on your growth? And yeah, I want you to think about it like that. We wanted you to have some food for thought here today. In what we refer to as some of the times we do these rapid sessions where we kind of we want to get to it. Yeah. And this was one of those scenarios. So, closing thoughts.
Yeah, in this idea of growth and this philosophy of growth, which is what we talk about every week. Sometimes in order to reach more people, you got to grow your business. Right. And that means that you've got to reduce some of the things that you're doing that restrict your capacity. Right. And everybody that's in business got in business because they wanted to do something that they thought could contribute to the success of other people. Sure. When you grow your business, you reach more people, and those things are in parallel lanes. So think about this in terms of if you're stagnant, which is where we started, think about how making some of these changes that we talked about today increases your reach, which allows you to do more for more people, which the result of that is your business is growing.
I love it. What else do you have to say?
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming back. And next time, bring a friend.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of the Grow Business Podcast. I'm Cory Mosley. He's Lon Graham, and Willie H is over there too. On behalf of all of us here at the Grow Business Podcast, we appreciate your viewership, and we want to invite you to come back next week. As you said.
Next time, bring a friend.
Yeah, next time, bring a friend. We piggyback.
We do.
Yeah.
We're a tag team.
We'll see you next week, guys. This has been a day. We will see you next week, guys and gals.
We're grinding gears today.
Yeah. Willie H, please, just play the music. Too much going on today.
Sometimes when we're trying to go fast, we'll go back to the old stick shift. We're grinding gears.
You gotta come back.
We didn't quite make it through the clutch.
I speak well.
Well, that's this. If anybody wondered whether or not this is an AI created show,
because the AI would be perfect.
We messed up enough today to prove that we're real. Should we be doing our
avatars? We don't have to do any of that. I don't know. We have to do another show on that because it's not as fun.
What's that?
Like the AI. Like now, I'm so pissed at all these videos that are great. Like the dogs, like they're rescuing the sheltered dog, and they're like these heartwarming stories of the dog that latched on, and then at the bottom it's like this story was generated by AI, but we wanted you to have a great emotional journey.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, you curse words.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's
disappointing. I wanted to believe that the dog did that, and then it's the AI. So
you want to be the Lassie saved the boy, and.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.